Good morning. Well, I've moved into what I'm now calling my mobile studio. Yes, I'm in the Toyota Alphard, and it's a perfect place for a YouTube studio, and I can understand why so many of those important YouTuber influencers and creatives, as we call ourselves for obvious reasons, decide to film their stuff in their camper van, because it makes a perfect studio. I think you'll agree. I've got a couple of assistants behind the camera. They're helping me out, passing me chocolate eclairs and coffees when I want it. Anyway, I hope by now you've seen the walk round of the outside of the Toyota Alphard, and you've also seen the walk round, what's got a kind of stooping round of the inside of the Toyota Alphard. So now we come to the most important thing which all of us camper van owners have to do, and that is got to come up with a name for the van. Now I know this is a thing. Hashtag van life naming is an important activity, an important hobby, and one of the things you have to do before you're allowed to purchase a Ridge Monkey. And I found this out when I went to purchase a Ridge Monkey, and in the kind of ordering form that I had to fill out on the website, it said, "What is the name of your van?" And I said, "I haven't named it yet." And they said, "Well, I'm sorry, but you can't have a Ridge Monkey until you've named your van." So I've got a few ideas, but I thought, dear viewers, I'd get you to help me out. Now I've got a little list here because I can't remember them all because I'm getting a little bit long in years. So I'm going to go through them. Some of them I'll go through fairly swiftly, and some of them I might pause just to give you a little description about why I've chosen them. So let's start off with musicians. Now the obvious first one to start with is Van Halen. But I mean, Van Halen, who the fuck likes Van Halen? So of course I'm not going to call my van that, isn't it? Vangelis, do you remember that? No, you're having a laugh. I ain't calling it Vangelis. I'm quite a fan of Beethoven, so I suppose I could call it Ludwig van, but that just seems a bit pretentious, doesn't it? Van Morrison, well, you know, Brown Eyed Girls, great song. He's done a lot of other good stuff, but I'm not sure he's a very nice person, Van Morrison. Do I want to call my van after a nice, not very nice person? And then there's something a little bit kind of left field in terms of music, and that's Big in Javan. I don't know if you remember, you have to be a certain age probably, a band called Big in Japan, and I think they had a hit which was called, funnily enough, Big in Japan. But you can't sort of wander around or go to a van lifers meet-up and say, "Have you met Big in Japan?" I mean, they say, "Oh, come on, mate." And then I thought I started to get a bit more esoteric, and I thought of Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. Can you remember that? One of Elton John's earliest albums. But the trouble is, I'm never a big fan of Elton John. And Brown Dirt, well, it kind of makes you feel like you've got a porta potty hidden in a cupboard somewhere, which of course I have, but it hasn't got any brown dirt in it yet because I haven't christened it. And then the last one in this particular group is one that I actually quite like, and that is the Van Trapp Family Singers, right? Do you want to think about that one for a few minutes? If you know your Sound of Music, and let's face it, which of us van lifers do not know our Sound of Music, then you will know that the Von Trapp Family Singers are the heroes of the story. So I thought Van Trapp was a nice little pun. But again, I mean, you know, are my family going to go in the van? Quite possibly. Do they sing? No, they don't. So, you know, we're not going to be the Van Trapped Family Singers, so that isn't going to work. So let's move on a bit. And then I got on to artists. And my wife is a big fan of big fan of art. So of course I thought of Van Eyck, big fan of Van Eyck, Van Gogh, or Van Gogh, as Woody Allen would say. But now that would be too obvious. And then Van Diesel, who's not really an artist, but I suppose being an actor, you could say he was a kind of artist. But I'm not a big fan of Van Diesel. Is it Vin Diesel? Vin Van Diesel. So that didn't work. And then there's Dieter Van Teese, who I think is some kind of burlesque stripper. So that isn't really going to work. I'm 65. For heaven's sake, I can't call a van after a burlesque stripper, even though I might like to. Anyway, the next group, I hope you're taking a note of all these because there will be a vote at the end, was then a series of what you'd call van puns. I suppose. So there was Vin Rouge, Vin Blanc. But I don't drink wine, so that didn't really work. There was Vanity. Well, there was Fantastic, Fantasy, Vanish. Vanish is a kind of carpet cleaner. You can't call your van after a carpet cleaner. And then, of course, with all the trouble in Afghanistan, I came up with Taliban. And my family says, you are not calling it Taliban. So I guess I'm not going to get away with that one. All right, the next group. Right, the next group is movies. Now, there was a movie fairly recently which I really enjoyed, which you may have seen yourself, and if you haven't seen it, it's actually pretty good, and that is Nomadland Van. You see what I did there? Nomadland Van. So that kind of works, but it's a bit too many syllables, isn't it? Now, one of my favourite movies, being a big Woody Allen film, is, of course, Van Hatten, yeah. And even more of a favourite is the Van Hatten Murder Mystery, which my wife and I really love that film. So that would be quite a nice nod to my wife if I called the van that, or if we called the van that. So that's maybe up there. The next little group is what I call places. And that's Vancouver, which I have a feeling is in Canada or America. I'm not sure which one. It's both the same, isn't it? Then there's Vandinavian. I thought that was quite good. I'm sure none of these are original, but they're original to me because I've not kind of come across them anywhere. Vandinavian, I quite like that. But and then Vangia, which is a kind of pun on Pangea, which is something to do with the earth and ecology and saving the planet and stuff like that. But I'm not really into that as much as I know I should be. So Vangia, I think, would just be a bit pretentious. So that's probably out. Then, of course, we get on to the cyclists, and me being a big cyclist, big fan of cycling, as you know, and most of my videos on this channel have so far been about cycling. Rick van Looy, Rick van Steenbergen, two great Belgian cyclists. Lucien van Imp, who was probably also a Belgian, actually. I'm sorry to say, I don't actually know. And then Frank van den Broek, who came to a untimely end. But I don't really know those cyclists that well, so I don't think they're really going to be high up on the list. Then there was a few others that I thought of. There was Vandemic, but I think that could date, don't you? I mean, it's going to be over soon. Some people say it's over now. It's not over now. Vanagra, I quite like that one, but you know, I haven't ordered any recently, so that's probably that. And then I thought, you know, again going with the kind of Vandemic theme, was Van Tam, which I quite like. Jonathan Van Tam, Deputy Chief Medical Officer. I quite like Jonathan Van Tam. Actually, I don't know if he's got a camper Van Tam or even a camper Van Tan. And then the last one in this group, of course, was Vanka, which is called a German wanker. But that, you know, I get enough people calling me a wanker in my videos as it is, so that couldn't really work. Now we're getting near the end of this. I'm sorry if you're getting bored. And this last group is not actually van puns at all. It's just having a name for your van. Now we have recently taken delivery of a cat, and the cat's name is Gary. Now I've never heard of a cat called Gary. My wife said we need to change the name. I said, you can't change the name, it's not fair. You know, the cat is called Gary, so I mean, it was a rescue cat, so they rescued it, they called it Gary. I think you can't just change the name of a cat because you don't like it. That's not fair. So then I thought, well, what about other, you know, people's names? Albert, for example, Matilda, some quite sort of old-fashioned names. Stanley, Alison, Graham, Keith, Edith. What about Edith? That's quite a nice name for a van, isn't it? But does it really go with Julian's van? I'm not. Well, it's not Julian's van. It's Julian's family van. Well, it's my van, really, but you know what I mean. And then I can put the piece of paper down now because I can actually remember this bit. There's a bit of a brouhaha going on with a Hollyoaks actress who started an OnlyFans page and then was sacked from Hollyoaks, which I was very upset about because it's one of my favourite programmes. And I actually wrote to Hollyoaks and said, you know, this is not fair. But then I thought, yeah, wait for it. I thought OnlyFans, right? OnlyFans, because not only, right, is that quite a good pun. And okay, it may not be original, but it's original to me because I've not come across it anywhere else. I thought OnlyFans, not only is that a great pun, but what it allows me to do, right, is to create a paywall and put content. Although my kind of special trick, okay, it won't be adult content. Oh no, it'll just be content. Right? In order to watch Julian's campervan videos, you're going to have to pay for it. So you're not going to get naked pictures of me. You're not going to get pictures of me in my swimming costume, you know, artfully draped over the campervan, or, you know, like this. You're not going to get any of that, right? Because it's not going to be that kind of OnlyFans. But what you'll be able to do, right, there's going to be a subscription service, right? You'll be able to pay some money to me and pay some money to the food bank, and in return, right, I'll make you a video about, you know, how do the headrests work, or, you know, what am I putting in this shelf here, or, you know, what are the roof boards like to sleep on. You know, you could get a whole range of fascinating additional, not adult, because it'll be for all the family, except occasionally when I swear. It'll be all the family content, but behind a paywall, because it's taking place in OnlyFans. So anyway, I'll give you the opportunity to vote. I'll pick my half dozen or thereabouts, my half dozen, whatever YouTube allows me to do on the channel. It's quite possible, of course, that I wouldn't be allowed to use OnlyFans, because people get confused with your OnlyFans page. I haven't got an OnlyFans page. I tried to create one. They said you're not the kind of demographic that we're after. So OnlyFans, well, it's a possibility, but you vote and let me know what you think. And if you want to leave a comment down below as to what you think is an even better name for Julian's family vans, then please. I love the comments that I get on my videos. I uploaded one of my videos to some Toyota Alphard owners group on Facebook, and it was deleted in a flash like that, and the admin said 5 minutes of waffle, and I thought, joke's on you, pal, because there's 7 minutes of waffle and you missed the last 2 minutes. So anyway, leave a comment down below as to what you think of this video. But please remember, just before I go, that my channel, including my OnlyFans channel, raises money for the Vine Food Bank, which is in Croydon in the United Kingdom. So every time you sit through one of these videos and watch one of the adverts, you are helping to raise money for people who are less fortunate than ourselves. So thanks for watching, and I'll welcome you back to the studio very soon. So see you next time.